There, welcome back to thinktankonlinelearning. So in this video, I'm going to show you a first way to draw an ellipse using the 4-center method. So the ellipse that we want to draw has got a major axis of 80 millimeters and a minor axis of 60 millimeters. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you have to make sure that you have your 4H for construction line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark this horizontal line, which is going to represent the major axis. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the vertical to indicate the minor. So like always, let's measure 40 on both sides. On the major axis, 40 here and 40 here, that's going to be 80. And we're going to measure 30 here, 30 on each side. You can use a canvas here, right? And the other thing that you have to do is to label. So I'm going to call this point number 1, this point number 2, this point number 3, this point number 4. Okay? And the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to join point number 1 and point number 4. Some people use letters here, still good. Okay, like this. Now that we're going to take our canvas, pointing right here at the intersection of the vertical and the minor axis, the vertical and the horizontal. Going to go to point number 1. We're going to strike an arc right there, and there's going to be another point. It's going to be point number 5. You're going to take your canvas, go to point number 4, open it up to point number 5. You're going to strike an arc which is going to touch this line. Okay, we're going to call this point number 6, and we're almost done. So now our job is to bisect this line. So I'm going to go to point number 6 and open it just more than half and strike an arc here. I'm going to strike another arc here. Now I'm going to go to point number 1. I'm going to strike another arc here. Strike another arc here. And now what I'm going to do, we're going to draw a line. The bisector. Okay, so this is going to be the line. And we're going to have a point where it cuts the major axis right here. And we're going to call that point A. It's going to be our center. And where it cuts the minor axis, we're going to call that point B. And this is our second center, B. And now go to the center, and we're going to open it up to point A. Good. And we're going to strike an arc. And we're going to call this point C. And at the center again, we're going to open the canvas up to point B. Right here. And we're going to call this point D. Okay, so about this point can be over there after 5, or it can be before 5. It depends with the dimensions. And now what we're going to do, we're now going to draw a line. It's going to pass along the point A and D. So this is going to be the line. And another line which is going to pass along C and D. And another line which is going to pass along B and C. And now we have all our centers. And we're going to take our outline pencil. Okay, so starting at point B. Now we're going to go to point 4, and we're going to strike an arc, and that arc should touch this line and this line. So, like this. And now go to point D, and we're going to touch 3. That is the point. We want our point 3. It's going to touch this line and that line again. And now, if we go to point A, and we're going to place our canvas at point 1. And if we do that, we're going to obtain a smooth arc. And now we're going to go to point C, and it should touch point 2. And if we do that, we're going to obtain a small arc. So as you can see, we now have